Alright, what's going on, guys? Trey back again here bringing that video. This one's going to be talking about Game of Thrones and the death of Ned Stark. Back in Season 1, I know we're in Season 2 now, but I just kind of wanted to do a video since I just really gotten into the series. I just want to kind of talk about Ned Stark's death in terms of a character and how surprising and shocking that was when that happened. I mean, the first time I saw it and they played it through and everything, I was like, I thought I needed therapy afterwards. I mean, it was just so like traumatizing, you know. I can't think of any other show I've ever seen where the main protagonist gets killed in such a fashion, like in such just like a cruel, unjust way too. Because he's doing their thing. He's playing their game and saying what they want him to say, and yet it, you know, Joffrey just has none of it and ends up ordering him to be executed. Also, he doesn't let out that when it happens that eventually Stannis does later, but he doesn't let out that Joffrey is not actually the heir of Robert Baratheon. So this was a really interesting way to take the show and take the series. Interesting direction. Something that I didn't see coming, that's for sure, and I didn't think that they would do. I don't think anybody, the first time you saw it, unless it was already spoiled, you expected them to actually go through with that. Because up until that point, and especially in the first episode and stuff, Ned Stark was introduced as the protagonist of the series. He was the absolute, if you have to think of one character from the show that sticks out, it's him. You know, you get to meet his family, his wife, you get to know everybody, and he just really seems like, you know, the main character of the show. That was really, really early to kill him off in the series. I mean, we were only like, what was it, 7 or 8 episodes in? I think it was the 8th episode. You know, he was only in that many episodes, and then he ends up dying in Baelor. Man, wow, just very surprising, very crazy, and you know, kind of in a way, it almost makes me think like the series, you know, shouldn't really work after that. But the thing about it is that it does. It really works well because his death changes everything. You know, a whole war is created around his death. And it's almost like because of that, the show or the story becomes even more interesting, which is strange to me. It's like, can you imagine, like if you had, let's say, a Batman series and the Joker killed Batman? You know, it just to me, it doesn't seem like it should work. And then you had, let's say, Nightwing and Batgirl and all the other characters come in and do something afterwards as a result. It just, to me, it doesn't sound like it would really work too well. But in Game of Thrones, it works very well. It's very weird. It's something I've never experienced before. I've never seen before in a series or read in a book where you have the main character literally die like right away. And then, you know, to fill his position afterwards, I can't really say there is one character in particular that fills his position because we're now spending time with different groups of characters. You know, we're spending time with Robb Stark. We're spending time with Stannis and, just all the different characters. Jon Snow at the Wall and, the Rat's Nest at King's Landing. So it's very weird to me that we get to see, all these different storylines coming in. And is there a main protagonist? I think, actually, I don't really think there is. I guess if you'd have to pick one, it would probably have to be Robb Stark. But at the same time, some episodes he's the main character, and then a lot of episodes, like the last episode we just saw, Season 2, Episode 2, he wasn't even in the episode. He didn't even have one scene. So, it's a very interesting show and a different direction to take, a story that we hardly ever see traveled. And when I reflect on it and I think about it, was it a good decision to do it that way, or was it a good way to go with the story? I actually think for the sake of being different, it actually was. Because, how many times do you read a story? I mean, 99 out of 100 stories, the protagonist never dies. You never kill the protagonist. Or if you do, it's like, way into the show. You've had 6 seasons, 7 seasons, and then you do it. You don't do it the first season. You don't do it the first book. If you're going to write 7 books, you don't do it right away. If you're going to have 7 seasons or 10 seasons, you don't do it at the beginning. It just was a really strange direction to go. And Sean Bean as well was, he was the most advertised in their ads and stuff. You see him sitting on the throne and stuff. and you just assume it's going to take a turn, and he's gonna make it. He's gonna survive, and he doesn't. It was just probably the most shocking, the most surprising moment I can remember in any show I've probably ever seen, and it grabs the attention of the viewer, and it's almost like depressing. Like I probably may in the future, if I go back and watch the show again, I may actually want to skip that part. Just watch until a certain part of the episode, be like, okay, this is going to happen, and skip it, because you just don't want to see it. And then to add insult to injury, in the next episode, you get to see Joffrey, who's forcing Sansa to look at it. It's like, oh my God, look at his head after. It's like, wow, man, what kind of world is this? So unjust. Just crazy, crazy stuff. Did I like it? No, I didn't. Was it a good direction to take the show? Just because it's different, I think. But is it worth it? I think that because it's different and because it sends home that sense of danger that literally no character is safe. Like, now that nobody's safe. Robb Stark's not safe. Any of the characters that you might like, none of them are safe. Nobody in the entire, even Tyrion, anybody else, nobody's safe. If they can kill off the main character, no other character in the show is safe. And that makes it even more interesting, and it's like the stakes are higher. Because that, anybody could die at any time. And the people that we hate the most, the bad guys, so to speak, are actually all still alive. You think about it, Jaime Lannister's still alive. Tywin's there doing his thing. Tyrion's, I like Tyrion. Everybody likes Tyrion, so he's a good guy, so to speak. Cersei's still alive. Joffrey's still alive. All these characters survive, and the good guy dies. Just, man, just such a different direction to go in, and definitely it keeps the viewer or the reader invested in the story and interested in the story, because it's like you just want to see these people that were involved in this situation get theirs. You just want to, you can't wait to see it, and you want to keep watching the show because you know that it's going to happen. It has to happen, and you just can't wait to see it. So, man, probably one of the most interesting decisions, I've ever seen in a TV show, to go that direction instead of the normal one. And was it worth it? I think it was. I think it was. It sucks because he was such an interesting character to have, but I think that Robb Stark, in a lot of ways, is sort of like a clone of him, just like a younger version clone of him. So it was set up really well that we could just transition from him to Robb Stark instead and just follow that character and be like, okay, well, he's basically a younger Ned Stark, pretty much. And we want him to win so much because we got to see what happened with his dad. And also, we got to learn about his dad. And we didn't have to do it in some stupid flashback or in some dumb, stuff like that, where you in a story you'll be reading about the character. That character always survives and everything goes good for them. And you might hear about their parents or their dad, if he's dead, in some kind of a flashback or something like that. Because really, the story could have been written to follow Robb Stark and just have that happen to his dad and have his dad be like a side character. And that's the way most writers do it. Most writers do not set him at the forefront as the protagonist and then kill him. Wow, what an interesting decision. Let me know what you guys think about this. I guess I want to say, give me a thumbs up if you agree with me that it probably was I don't know. I guess it's a good decision because it makes the show different and it sends home that sense of danger. And a thumbs down if you hated it and you'd wish that they would have written it differently and you wish that Ned Stark would still be alive. Let me know what you guys think. Later, guys. Peace.